Blessings, beautiful beings. It's Shanna here with Rise, Align, Shine. And today we are going to be talking about protecting your energy. Okay, it's a big subject, especially in the spiritual world. And I get that question a lot. How do I protect my energy? And I have asked this for myself many times. How do I protect my energy? And I am really excited to present to you all the things I've been contemplating and thinking about that will pertain to this subject. And this is no, closed list or items or things or insights on this subject. So if there's more that you would like to enrich and add value to in the comment section and share your knowings and your ideas and thoughts, please do. I am humbled by the vast knowledge of my followers and everybody in this world. So I am just going to share what I know, what I do, and what I have thought about on the topic. All right. So who am I and why am I talking about this subject? My name is Shanna. I am a Kundalini yoga teacher. I am a self-love coach, and I'm also a tarot and oracle reader. So I do collective readings here on YouTube, but I do a lot more off of YouTube than I do on YouTube. So if you're looking for private readings or anything of that such after you're done with this video and you vibe with my energy, girl, boy, go get yourself a reading. Anyway, so I dabble a lot with others' energies. And we all do, because we're social beings and we're not supposed to be isolated. And we are all heavily influenced, whether good or bad, by each other. In fact, it's the divine intention to do so, because without stimulation, there is no expansion, right? Without knowing of ourselves through some restrictive borders and borderlines and the opposing energy, we would never know what we are. We need the opposite of anything to know what something is. Otherwise, it's just a unknowing of pure knowing. The only way to really know is to experience it. And often, always, we need an edge to bump up against to fully experience and to bring ourselves back into remembering of who we are. Why, people bring this subject up a lot, but I also want to keep the importance of the fact that contrast is the point of being here on earth. As much as it is to love and experience, it's also to expand and to, contract. It's like both. So we need the contrast to do so. And that is how we expand God's experience here on earth through this godly vessel that we are borrowing in this lifetime. So, all right, let's get into it. Why do we want to protect our energy? Why, right? So I love the why. It's, again, everything I kind of just talked about, like, we are influenced by each other. And I used to have strong beliefs that there was no dark side, there was just a lack of light. And I would say that my beliefs have changed partially. And this isn't to be going into all of my beliefs in this video. However, I do just want to let you know where I'm coming from. I have expanded into a new knowing for many reasons. After I started working with energy more closely with people, I've worked with plenty of energy workers and had plenty of conversations about their experiences of working with others. And just as I continue to expand myself, I realized there is a lot more disconnected and intentionally dark energy out there. Not to mention, I also was married to a man from Ghana. He did pass away, unfortunately, in the first years of our marriage. But I got to experience what voodoo was like, and I got to be educated on voodoo and other things. So understanding that and it just with the combination of those experiences, I became well aware that there's a lot more intentionally dark energy than I think I ever wanted to admit. I often thought of dark energy, or again, the maleficent energy, the evil side, right, was more a pinched off of God, a pinched off of light, or a turned off from God, right? Like the light's been turned off, but the light is still there. So all is God, all is part of the grand equation. However, I do believe that there are entities, influences, energies out there with a maleficent intention. One of the big whys for why we want to protect ourselves from these energies, from these influences, is so that we can stay the path, right? A lot of those energies are just there to derail us, to confuse us, to keep us from knowing and remembering who we are, right? From putting the cooperative components together to continue to expand the whole into a more unified vision of love. So it's just very important as you work with people that you don't take on their energy that isn't serving them, especially if you're a healer, right? You're not there to absorb, you're there to transmute and redirect. And oftentimes things can get a little muddied where if we're not of our clearest intent and we are not taking really good care of ourselves, we can oftentimes absorb the energies from others. Not to mention, again, there's an intention there for that to be that way, for it to attach itself to unknowing, unprepared people. So I tread lightly on this topic because it's a little bit of a dangerous topic in some ways, because the first subject I'm going to get into is the ultimate subject. And so I'll go there, but I'm treading lightly because I never want to disempower anybody, ever. And I never want to scare anybody, because really it's just fear. It's just fear feeding off of fear. That's all really, truly that is, right? Whenever a thought has been thought, it will always exist in the universe. Energy cannot be destroyed, it is only transmuted. So once a thought has been thought, once an intention has been intended, it picks up momentum and connects itself, right, to and attaches itself to other similar intentions. And that is why I do not want to infuse any sort of fear or hesitancy or anxiety in anybody about this subject. We are going to go into it so you feel fully protected if you go into these realms of working with others, or again, just working with spirit directly, right? There doesn't need to be any fear. Fear begets fear. Fear attracts fear. Fear creates, just like joy creates, love creates, okay? So the very first thing I want to talk about is knowing how powerful you are. You got to know how powerful you are. Literally, it's the most important thing that you could possibly do. You have to know that you are God's child, that you are created from the likeness of God. You are divine, okay? You have power pulsating through you, okay? We emulate power through our focus, through our vessel, through our attention, through our love. We are incredibly powerful. And when you doubt that, and when you don't know your self-worth, and you don't know your value, you are more subjective to being unprotected, okay? So, how do we know how powerful we are if we don't have daily devotional practices of self-love, self-care, and self-awareness? If we aren't tuning in with self and tending to self on a daily basis and really making sure that we take care of self first and foremost, it's hard to continue remembering from day to day just how powerful we are. There's constant pressure and constant contrast and constant things around to distract and derail us. It literally is the agenda. Okay, so if we are removed out of knowing who we are and knowing how powerful we are easily influenced, we are easily programmed. So keep this in mind as your day to day, your number one thing to focus on. Have I taken care of myself today? Have I taken care of my mind? Have I taken care of my nervous system? Have I taken care of my emotional body, my physical body? Am I exercising? Am I cleansing? Am I introducing healthy foods? Am I taking good, nourishing care of myself? Are you journaling? Are you tending to the parts of self that need tending to? So that is the very first thing I want to talk about. And we need to just continuously remind ourselves who we are. Surrounding yourselves with people, or at least influencing yourself on social media and things like that with people that are of the highest and best timeline for you, that are mentors or that are inspirational to you, that help you remember who you are. Are you reading books that help you remember who you are? Are you spending time in the mirror remembering who you are? So that is very, very first thing. And if you did nothing else, you would be mostly and fully protected, especially if you could reach that daily, you would be completely protected. So this helps align us with the universal laws that are there to support us, period, right? So when we know who we are and we emulate that and we spend time cultivating that connection daily through a myriad of ways, we are continuously rising our vibration and our intention up to meet the place where the universe can meet us there and carry us through, and momentum can pick up and we can stay continuously protected. The second thing on my list that I consider highly important is to illuminate, cleanse, and strengthen your aura. What is your aura? Your aura is something that can even be photographed. It is an energy around your body. It is emulating, when it's really strong, 9 meters in circumference from your body. It enters a room before you do. It is comprised of your own unique frequencies. And has a very protective quality when it is strong, it's been illuminated, and it's been cleansed. It introduces you literally, energetically, through what others can viscerally feel and receive when you enter into a space, when you come into a room, when you get face to face with somebody. It's your aura that's interacting before you ever speak a word. So, what are the most powerful ways that I personally have found to strengthen, illuminate, and cleanse my aura? Well, like I said, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, and through my practice, breath of fire, specifically what we call in the training that I took, which was like a trauma informed, feminine lens Kundalini class or Kundalini training, we do something called, so radiance charger is what we called it, but I think it's also called ego eradicator if it's something that you want to look up. So radiance charger is something that I actually just did a video on within my breath of fire for beginners video. So I'll link that down in the description box if that's something somebody wants to check out. But it's really utilizing the breath and with intention, with the arms, and our way of moving out the energy and visualizing and actually cleansing out the organs and the energy channels of the body while really cleansing the auric field. And it really does feel amazing. And it's something that you can do 3 to 7 minutes a day. Maybe start very small, 1 to 3 minutes, and then build yourself up. But if you do that daily within the morning, you can do that literally sitting in bed, and it can cleanse out anything that is stagnant within the energy channels while also very much clearing out and strengthening the aura itself. Meditation is something that you can also do. And there's a lot of meditations out there here on YouTube and a million other places that you could find for strengthening and protecting the aura. I am actually creating one myself currently, so it's something I have in the works for you all. So look forward to that. And in general, visualization can be something that can really help clean out the aura and strengthen it. Do not doubt the power of visualization and intention. So meditation can really help in this way. All right, so there's other ways to strengthen your aura, but that is the two best ways that I enjoy myself and that I find easily accessible and something that you can repeat daily to really help in general create a very strong aura for yourself. Number 3, clear and honest self-inquiry, which also can be seen through the lens of shadow work and inner child work. Y'all, I cannot emphasize this enough. No high vibrations, no high frequency music, no stone, no practice, no other healer can rise you out and bring you out of the depths of your own shadow. Your own shadow will continuously bring you back down if you have not reconciled it or looked at it and integrated it and intentionally understood and become one with it, okay? There is no way that any external influence will bring you out of the depths of your own shadow permanently. They might temporarily until you remember, until you come back down to that place that has a repetitive, sticky nature to it without integrating it, honestly understanding it, taking the time to really see how it's impacted you, see what nature has, what you came into with, because we have our natural shadows that come in through, the lens of astrology and our human design and in general what we've inherited generationally. And then we've got our nurture that comes through our experiences and our family experiences and everything else we pick up and our decisions that we pick up along the way. But it's extremely important to understand that you are the one that is responsible for that work. And no healer, no stone, no high vibrational place that you move to will take you and rise you out of the depths of your own shadow. So shadow work is the most important. Entities are going to be drawn to what's in you that's not been reconciled. So that fear or that anger or that resentment, that is what pulls and attracts that type of energy. So it's extremely important to understand if you feel like a victim somewhere deep inside of you, you will attract the villain, right? And if you feel like fear and lack walking around all the time, you are going to be attracting fearful experiences, fearful lack-based experiences. That isn't to say that you're fully responsible for everything out there. You're not. You're just responsible for how you interact with it. Okay, so that is why we want to make sure that we are strengthened, illuminated, and protected. Through life, we have a lot of attachments to either idealisms, ideas, programming, emotions, people, things like that, that just do not serve us. And even sometimes it's a story about our past, a story about somebody else. And when it's based off of fear or blame or resentment, there's still something in there that needs to be reconciled. So that way you no longer have an attachment to that thing. And that attachment is partially that energy that will create an attraction, a magnetism to energies that will like to maybe leech on you or pull from you or drain you in any way. It's the stuff that you're going to want to feel protected against. But we have to be super honest with ourselves of where we are attached to things that no longer serve us. This is top on my list. These attachments can keep us blind to what's really going on. And sometimes it's just the attachments or the programming that literally restrict us from being able to be our light and feel our purpose in life. And it's extremely important to honestly self-reflect on these things daily, or at least multiple times a week through our journal or talking to others, seeing a coach or a mentor, something where we can work that out and through. Because it's like repeating patterns of what people call self-sabotage, repeating patterns of relationships and how we relate to others, belief structures that keep us bound to continuously making the same decisions and having the same types of experiences. And in general, like I said, just past stories that have kept us in a loop. Clarity is the key to cutting cords. If we cannot see it, we cannot change it. The alchemist must know what it's working with in order to alchemize and transmute it into something else. You have to be willing to go into the depth of your own self to fully integrate and shine light on your shadows so that you can feel whole, and then you also are not prone to being triggered or attacked by others. You understand through the lens of love and through the lens of acceptance and forgiveness so that those things don't have the same effect on you. These attachments can literally drain all of our energy and make it so that we spend most of our days in blame and resentment and frustration and why is me, instead of pulling back our energy and claiming our energy back so that way we can make the right decisions for ourselves. We know how to show up for ourselves and we no longer blame others for those experiences. This wise, honest self-inquiry, shadow work, child work, inner child work is so essential, especially on the topic of protecting your energy. Okay, this is one of the biggest ones that most people already know, is cleansing. But I like to talk about this on many, many levels because, we could cleanse ourselves with some Palo Santo. We could cleanse ourselves with some white sage. Those are the most typical ways people have been cleansing themselves over the years. With the spiritual awakening that's going on, the spiritual rising up that's going on, and frankly, a lot of it's just trendy, there's a lot of overuse of sage and Palo Santo as cleansing tools. And I really want to just bring up the subject that both of these things are endangered. And it's because we, as humans, try to do a good thing, and oftentimes through our not being very awake, we oftentimes pull and drain the resources for our own egoic, selfish needs. So I want to just say this and infuse this into the conversation. There are plenty of other things that you can use aside from Palo Santo and sage. And I myself use Palo Santo and sage, so I'm being a little hypocritical. And I'm a very transparent person. It's something that through my years, I'm looking to shift and change and find. I do try very much to buy my products from indigenous people, and I try very much to be conscious of where I get them. When I was in Costa Rica, I bought most of my things that I am working with now. So I just like to say that be conscious of what you're going out to buy, but both of those things are wonderful cleansers. They're both beautiful way to cleanse spaces. They both have their own properties and what they work, what types of energies they work with. And I'm not to say don't ever use them, but be conscious when you're using them. You can also use eucalyptus, which is much more sustainable and much more readily available. And that is what I was actually burning in the beginning of this video. Also, cedar wood is a great way to cleanse a space and yourself, along with rosemary. That's another great one. There are honestly many, many more that I could just keep going on, but I would say wherever you're located on this planet Earth, in this beautiful planet that we all call home, you can do a quick little search of the people around you, of what the indigenous people around you, or what people currently around you that you could get that's sustainable and semi-local, what they use for cleansing and protecting their energy when it comes to Mama Earth products. And I bet you might find more than you ever would have realized that could be right there in your backyard. But also when it comes to cleansing, we're talking about organizing, we're talking about cleaning, we're talking about really taking a note on your space and how this space affects you. Is it dirty? Does it need organization? Is there all these things you're carrying with you that have all these memories and feelings and vibrations around you that you no longer resonate with, nor do you need? That hoarding energy or that feeling of just holding on to things just because is something you're going to want to look at so that you feel less heavy and dense. Your space is highly influential over your energy. So if you're constantly feeling drained and disorganized, or let's just say like confused and maybe like powerless in your space, more than likely you need to be cleaning it out and moving out and getting rid of things that have a energetic pull on you. So really, really take a note on the spaces that you spend your most time on and organize them, clean them out, give away things that do not serve you anymore, and get that stuff out. And then nicely infuse higher vibrational intentions and items into your space so that way you can kind of get a better grip on the places that you spend the most amount of time on, okay? And that way you're not overly influenced by those spaces. Instead, you are influencing them. So that way you guys can co-create together with your beautiful spaces. So really take time to organize and clean your spaces often. Also, social media is huge. Making sure you go through your computers, your social media, your files, and cleaning out the stuff that just does not need to be there. Do you have pictures of old boyfriends or girlfriends that you, every time you see, feels triggered? Well, why do you have them? Delete them. Why are you friends with these people that every time they post something, you're irritated? Stop, unfollow them. Even if it's family, you don't have to unfriend them, but you can unfollow them so you don't see their content. I understand some of that stuff gets messy, but you have to be very intentional. You don't have to be mean and be like, bye, block. You don't have to do that. Really, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is make sure you're well aware of what's influencing you. So if you're scrolling and something makes you feel a wash of self-doubt, unfollow. If something makes you feel a wash of insecurity, unfollow. If something feels like a wash of triggering and irritation, unfollow. Take the time to cleanse these spaces because you're spending a lot of time and energy in them. So even your computer, your emails and things like that, start going through them. Take the time and clean them out so they're not so heavy when you open them up. They're not so influential on you when you open them up. And these are very simple ways, but very potent ways to cleanse out spaces that you spend a lot of time in that will have a lot of energy drain on you. On the subject of cleansing, your body is obviously a very important one to take care of. So making sure you're well groomed, that you've showered daily, if not every other day at the least. Just making sure we're taking and tending care to our bodies, making sure that we're really seeing how we care for self. How do we care for our hair? How do we care for our skin? Using things like essential oils, using things to really just honor and take care and cleanse our body very deliberately so that anything we carry to and from isn't something that is overly influenced by others, okay? So that type of energy can kind of cling to us when it's got maleficent intention through things like our dirty hair and our dirty body. It's just another part of the topic that's really important to address. I also really highly recommend things like Epsom salt baths. That can be very cleansing, especially when you put an intention into the bath and allow yourself to maybe hum or make noises as you release that energy off and out of your body. Another cord cutting thing that you can do is black walnut husks. You can take some black walnut husks and create a bath with that as well, boiling the husks and then introducing it into the bath. And that can be very cleansing and cord cutting specifically. You can look that up on exactly how to do that. So number 5, learning how to rest and say no and protect your energy for how much that you're giving out and how much you're taking in. So when we're constantly saying yes to things, we're not really having good, healthy boundaries of what you need, checking in with yourself. Is this something that I have space for? Is this something that I can say yes to? Is this something I have the energy for? If you're not doing that on the daily, then you're going to be draining yourself. You're going to be adding more opportunities for things to pull at your energy and for you to just be running ragged. So prioritizing rest and saying no when you can feel that you're not quite in alignment with something, and really start to feel comfortable within self saying, I don't have the time and energy to say yes to this right now. Can we talk about it later? Or can we address this at another time? Really allowing yourself to support yourself through how you make those types of decisions, how you communicate to others. You can validate to others that they have a need from you, and you can also let them know that you're not able to meet that need due to what you are currently needing. So just make sure that you are in balance, and rest is extremely important so you're not running ragged. So, another way, making sure that you are praying or putting out words and intentions of gratitude and visualizing and being very intentional, like through affirmations, things like that will definitely help protect your energy. Words are spellings. They call them spelling because they are putting spells out there. Thoughts are very magnetic, but words are thoughts put to life, and they're that much more magnetic. But it's not the word itself that has the magnetic pull, it's the feeling underneath those words. So if you just say a word, I am so beautiful and rich and happy, and you feel like shit, it's not going to work. So sometimes we just need to say things like, please, Spirit, I'm needing to know how much you love and care about me in this moment, because that's all we can do. That comes from a very clear place of saying, please show me some love, show me some grace. But instead of, please make all this better, I can't, you're still coming from a place of need. So be honest with Spirit, be honest with yourself. I'm needing to know how powerful I am. I'm needing to know that everything's going to be okay. Sometimes we have to start there. But being very mindful of how we interact with the words that we speak and how we interact with Spirit. Is it coming from a place of honesty? Is it coming from a place of clarity? And if so, keep going. So clear out your affirmations and making sure that you're saying them from a very clear, energetic place. So if instead of saying, I am prosperous and rich, and you feel very lack-based at that moment, it's not the right thing to say. It'd be more beneficial for you to say, I am born from an abundant universe, and I am part of that abundant universe. Lighten it up, relax that statement, and find a way in that still helps you to work the energy of abundance without triggering the feeling of lack. So just being conscious of how you work words, but really being intentional with them. Mirror work and affirmations are two of my favorite things. Looking yourself deeply in the eyes and talking to yourself and connecting with yourself and spelling yourself in the most beautiful of ways with high intentions can move mountains, okay? And that really does help you know who you are and strengthen your energy and illuminate your aura. Number 7, to work with energies like the archangels or the deities, goddesses like Shiva and Ganesha. And it really just depends on you and what you energetically resonate with who you might want to call in for moments where you need a little extra protection. I don't work much with deities and goddesses and archangels as much as I work with my own spiritual team and my own angels and guides that I have either had within my family that have passed on or that I can feel and tap into. So it really depends on you, but you can absolutely work with these entities, these energies, and help you protect yourself. They are there for you. So some people really love to call on Archangel Michael. He is there for you. Otherwise, really call in on your own highest and best spiritual team, and they are there for you as well at all times. If you have somebody who's passed on, you can call in their energy and help them protect you. They are there for you. They are focused upon you. You can just call on source energy or the universe's love at large to come in and help you and protect you in times of need, or in just generally infusing it, like I said, into your prayers and your gratitude throughout your day. Because again, just connecting into that helps us remember who we are. And that in general keeps us protected, keeps us strong, keeps us in the light, keeps us in our knowing. Okay, so number 8, trust your intuition, trust your instinct, trust your gut. The more that we strengthen that connection, the more that we are guided to and from the places that we need to be. So when you get that feeling that person is somebody I shouldn't be talking to or interacting with or trusting, trust that, right? And sometimes our ego or our programming, our beliefs will bring us into places or make us make decisions out of a place of fear or lack or whatever it is that will bring us in places maybe we shouldn't be, that might be influencing us in the wrong place. But our intuition will always guide us through and out of those experiences. So the more you strengthen your intuition, the better. I'm currently creating an intuition course, which is going to be fire, and I'm doing it with another, either one or two, I haven't decided, other amazing intuitive healers. So look forward to that. If that's something you're interested in, you can put your email, send your email to my email letting me know you're interested in it. And it's something I will be launching within the coming months of the first of the year. So another way would be is a mantra that I absolutely love for protecting my energy. So again, like I said, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. And so we use this specific mantra. It's called the protective chant. It's a Shabbat mantra, and it's very easy once you get it going. We chant this mantra 4 times, and when we chant it, we envision a pillar or a column protecting each direction of us. And what I like to do is, as I see this pillar, as I'm chanting, I like to see this pillar being constructed, and then as the next one's constructed, I can see the protective energy in between the two, connecting the two. And as that pillar is created, the third one, it's connecting to the second one, and then the fourth one connects to the third one, and then connects to the first one, and I can feel it all around me. So I am just going to actually chant it for you right now, and then you can learn more about it. If it's something you want to do, you can integrate this into your practice daily. You can do this anytime you feel the need to. In the Kundalini yoga practice, sometimes, we'll do it when we get into the car and we're putting our seatbelt on, or, when those moments where you just want to know that you are that much more guided and protected, it's a great time to chant this chant. It only takes like 45 seconds to a minute. So I will put the words down here so you can see them, and I will also put the definition in the description box so you can look that up. I'm just not going to make it too long here, but I'm just going to chant it for you for a moment, and that way you can see it. Again, it's closing your eyes down. We have a nice third eye gaze, so that way we connect to our vision, our intuition, and strengthen our pituitary gland. And envision, like I said, the columns. So I'm just going to go forth so you can hear it. Then feel free to repeat this part. Maybe I'll even put in the timestamp this exact part, so that way you can maybe practice it multiple times in a row. All right, so I'm just going to do it for you so you can hear it. Ad Gude Name, Jugad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gude Dev Name. Ad Gude Name, Jugad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gude Dev Name. Ad Gude Name, Jugad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gude Dev Name. Ad Gude Name, Jugad Gude Name, Sat Gude Name, Siddhi Gude Dev Name. Ending it with a nice, strong, deep breath, holding that breath in, seeing yourself beautifully protected in a divine structure of columns and light. Holding that breath, strengthening that protection and that vision, and exhaling anything that wants to be released. Okay, beautiful ones. The last subject I just want to say is making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are of your highest and best. Okay, so constantly ask and talk to your guides, talk to your higher self, talk to your future self, with helping to link you up with your highest and best timeline, and making sure that you're paying attention to the way people influence you. So you might have this beautiful best friend that you love and adore, and they're wonderful, but they're constantly infusing self doubt, infusing something that kind of brings you down when you're around them. That doesn't mean you need to cut them off altogether, but limit how much you interact with them. Limit how much you allow yourself to spend intimate time, because they are influencing you. The people that you spend time with, like I think it's about the five closest people you spend time with are the ones that influence you the most. Where who are you? What are you becoming? Who are you cultivating? And so really paying attention, so that way you can have very strong, clear, protected energy, and you're not overly influenced by things that keep you stuck with right where you are. I could go on, my loves. There's plenty more I could infuse into this conversation, but I didn't want to make this video too long. And I would love to hear in the comments if you guys had any more to add to that conversation. Enrich us and share with us the things that you do to protect your energy. And if you guys liked this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I would also really appreciate if you shared with others who you think might benefit from this video. I'm sending you guys so much grace and love. And again, I do offer my Kundalini yoga classes, my self-love coaching, which I do team up a lot of times with my Kundalini yoga and breath work, along with my tarot and oracle readings, and plenty of great content I will be putting out in the future. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for being here, and have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.